types of prediction questions because it gives you a chance as a cybersecurity professional to have a little bit of fun. You don't necessarily have to be right or wrong, but it just gives you an idea to brainstorm and see where you think things might be headed. So I have a few thoughts on this. First, I think there's going to be a lot more talk in 2020 about attribution and its absolute value in the world of cybersecurity. There are some houses that believe attribution is really important, and other people think it's not so important. I kind of lean towards the latter and not the former, and I'll tell you why. There was an incident not too long ago in the news where it was discovered that one state-sponsored group had fully infiltrated another lesser-skilled state-sponsored group, and they were launching attacks through their infrastructure. And when people dissected those attacks, they looked like it came from the lesser state-sponsored group. So I think if we go back in time and we look at other incidents from lesser skilled groups, the smaller nations who have a less evolved or less skilled state-sponsored cybersecurity attacker team, we're going to find that there's very likely the case that in more than one circumstance, the bigger and more skilled state-sponsored groups have fully infiltrated them for a long time and been launching attacks through them. So we're going to see that going forward. Obviously, cybersecurity is not static, and these lesser skilled groups will get more and more skilled as time goes on, and they're going to be able to discover that they've been infiltrated and expunge them, and we may find more stories going forward of these types of misattributed attacks by state-sponsored groups. Secondly, I think election security is going to be of critical importance in the United States going forward, this being an election year in 2020. Along the same lines of what happened in 2016, we're going to find that there's going to be very overt attempts by other nations to, at the very least, sow discord in the security or the integrity of our election systems. At DEF CON last summer, for example, some people demonstrated that current election machinery are highly susceptible and vulnerable to attack. We're going to see that they either are successful at attacking some of those machines, or at the very least, they have done enough to make it look like any results, regardless of who comes out winning, it makes those results highly suspectful. And no matter who wins, the other side is going to think those results were illegitimate. So expect to see lots more news as things ramp up towards next fall. The last thing I think we're going to see a lot of attention and maybe a lot of incidents is this continued ramp up of fileless malware attacks on networks. Fileless malware is a whole different kettle of fish in comparison to your garden variety malware attacks, whether it's a macro-enabled Word document with malicious content, an infected PDF file, things like that. There's a whole other different defense strategy that's required around those. And a lot of organizations are not going to be ready to deal with fileless malware, and they're going to find themselves on the bad side of an attack, a fileless malware attack. And it wouldn't surprise me one bit if we found a massive ransomware attack in some major enterprise or municipality somewhere in the United States, where the initial point of infection and the initial vector was a piece of fileless malware. So those are a few things I'm thinking about this year, and touch base with me next year and let's see how we did. Thanks.